Good evening on the West Coast. Good evening in the mountain. Good evening in the central. Good evening on the East Coast. This is Angela Nirvana of Nirvana World TV presents Metaphysically Speaking. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. We are now on lesson 3, day 5 of our course in weight loss. 21 Spiritual Lessons for Surrendering Weight Forever by Marianne Williamson, who was our first presidential candidate to actually run on a reparations platform. And so, as we all know, I was inspired from my inner Christ to do a broadcast to help myself and my comrades to move about our reparations fight in the spirit, of which I am all too happy that I've chosen this direction to spiritualize the fight feels so much better than to participate in a bunch of the infighting that I see going on in these social media spaces that is quite frankly very draining. And I realized that the fight for reparations was becoming a fight that was within me. Hi, Freeman Holocaust survivor, us. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, I realized after 3 years of wailing and screaming and gnashing my teeth about the current events that plague American freedmen exclusively, uh, that I couldn't do that anymore going into 23, that I see it debilitating the health of so many in this fight. And I decided to spiritualize my fight over participating in a lot of the health issues that I see a lot of my comrades uh, falling victim to because they've chosen to fight in the outer what cannot be won. We have been fighting in the outer for many years now. And the only way anything has ever been accomplished in terms of our civil rights, our social justice, is when we invoke the Spirit of the living God. That's the only way things have ever manifested in the outer. It's the only way they ever will, because we of ourselves cannot do a thing. It is the Christ within each and every one of us that goes before us to get this done and to get this accomplished. And I have never been more at peace than when I decided to surrender to my inner Christ, encouraging me to spiritualize the fight. And so I spend less time in that space and more time in my spiritual practice, which the two cannot coexist. You cannot fight for reparations and fight against the powers that be because you just don't have the strength nor the fortitude to do it without becoming one with that fight. And that fight starts to show up in your life, world, and affairs. And since we're at the top of 23 and I had a resolution to lose more weight, I figured more of my comrades did too. And I wanted to bring you this incredible course in weight loss because it deals specifically with getting back to our roots, with relying on our inner Christ to overcome whatever ails us in the outer, whether it's money, whether it's relationships, whether it's weight, whatever your resolution is, you can apply this course because it's not just about an addiction to food. It's about all addictions. It's about all the things in the outer that oppress us. Okay? Thank you, Friedman, for standing in agreement. It's about It's really our thoughts. Our thoughts and our mind specifically is our connecting link to the Most High. So when you have decided to use that real estate to get to fighting folks on the outside and get to cursing folks out and calling folks out their name, and everybody's egotistically fighting to be in charge and fighting for credit and all this kind of stuff. When you decide to participate in that way, there is a domino effect. It starts to impact everything in your experience. You wake up fighting mad and you go to bed fighting mad. James Baldwin said it best. To wake up freedmen in this country is to be in a perpetual state of rage. And I'm here to tell you, we're not going to get reparations in a perpetual state of rage. So all I need is two or more to be in agreement with me. You know, this broadcast will do what it's supposed to do. I'm at around 1660 subs in the reparationist perspective. And guess what? It's shadow banned. Okay. I'm getting so many messages that folks are not getting the notices, things of this nature. Well, because there are quite a few people out here that want to censor my voice, censor my fight, censor the things I've got to say about it, loud and proud on behalf of freedmen. And what I have found is that I have to leave everything to God with respect to how Nirvana World TV turns out. But I'll tell you right now, it's truly my happy place. I prefer to be over here in peace than to be on my other channel constantly enraged. I'll be back on that channel tomorrow afternoon and then back again with spiritual weight loss at 6 p.m. our standard time. But I'm going to be doing a spiritual treatment over there at the end of every broadcast. Because, yes, while I'm still on a mission for reparations and the weaponization of our vote, I decided that I'm far more at peace over in this space. And I'm certain that those in this fight that find their way to Nirvana World TV, metaphysically speaking, will stand in agreement with me and we'll get this done together. But we will not allow the fight to consume us in such a way that it costs our health, costs our very lives, costs our finances, costs our work, our employment. All of this stuff is relative, family, and they are definitely watching everything we do. So I'm prayerful in deciding to move in this direction that I will have less of the shadow banning that occurs on my political channel. Uh, so that's really the hope and the prayer is that I can move freely in this space and allow God to bring whomever is supposed to benefit from the messaging here. So thank you once again for being here. I'm grateful for your participation on a Saturday night. It's very rainy here in California, and I'm so ecstatic about that. Oh, let me bring up my candles. I'm so ecstatic, I'll share. I'm ecstatic when it rains. Thank you, Freedman Holocaust survivor us. I touch and agree with you in spirit that nothing will stop the positive healing. Nothing will block our peace. We are healthy, happy, and wise. I so appreciate you, Freedman Holocaust survivor us. That is text for my soul. That's all I need, family, truly. Because this broadcast will outlive all of them. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And this is what our people have to learn, that the way out is from within. But back to what I was sharing, I'm just going to keep that up there to be a part of the broadcast today. Um, it's been raining all day, and I can promise you that since embarking on this particular course with you guys, I don't even mind that it's raining. I just turn my attention and focus to my home, which has to be in order, family. Your house and your affairs have got to be in order if you want to go from blessing to blessing. It's hard for blessings to get in a state of chaos. It's hard to even recognize the blessings when you're in a state of chaos. Okay? It is very, very difficult to look around and realize how blessed you are. And it's perfect for today because it talks about building an altar. Today's lesson number 3 is building your altar. Now, it's a really long chapter, so I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but the chapter basically deals with the importance of finding a space in your home to build an altar for your spiritual practice. And I am just so elated, family, because I just ordered um, a Native American. Oh, let me get the word right. This is just so exciting to learn all these tools to clear and cleanse the space, family. It's called, let me get the word from the chapter for today. It's a Native American smudging kit. It's a Native American smudging kit, okay? Family, I have bought so much wonderful stuff, but basically, the smudging is like the sage to clear your space. And we'll get into some of what the homework is to clear your space with sage, especially your kitchen, where a lot of the fear takes place, right? Friedman says, true, I am clearing clutter now. Yes, this is a great teaching. We need altars, 100. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And you need to build this altar with your favorite cookbooks of clean living and your favorite people and friends and family. Hi, Kinky Curly Straight. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, you need an altar, family, so that you can go and do your spiritual practice in the morning and especially in the evenings. You have to bookend it, even if you've got time during lunch. It is on you to stay in a perpetual state of gratitude and to anchor yourself in Christ so that every aspect of your life will be spiritualized. And so I have just been happily shopping over on Amazon. I bought my smudging kit and I bought, let me show it to you guys. I'm so excited. I just ordered it after reading this chapter. Spirit moved on me to order it. So I'm going to bring it up. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Now, it means I have to stop sharing my candles for a second, but let me just bring it up for you. This growing spiritually is just uber fun, family. It's just uber fun. So, this is, let me show you. I love Amazon. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. So, I let me share. It's just so rich. These are fun ways to stay mindful, family. So let me stop that, and then I'm going to share what I purchased today to help with my altar and to help with my spiritual practice for mindfulness, right? So this here is a chakra stone starter set. Okay, and there's a dancing bear store that you can uh, actually go and really dig in. But look at this, family. So basically, so this is it. You see that? Oh, you can see it. So these are, okay, she's going to explain it. Hopefully. These are healing crystals. And then they give you the whole chakra chart with the crystals. And then here are the crystals in this nice little satin bag. And that's a stick that you burn as well.
Yay, I got my chakra crystals. Exciting. I got everything. I got everything I need. Everything. Oh, gee. I'm gonna take a look at everything when I get a chance to.
Realigning my chakras is what they said. Positive vibes. Okay. So there's this sage in the burning bowl. Let me stop sharing that. I love to see us investing in an expansion of spirituality and knowing that these things are not like bad things, like lots of Christians will tell you, oh, that's witchcraft, oh, this, oh, that. And it's absolutely not. Crystals are directly from the earth, directly from God. Now, this I'm really excited about. It is a smudge kit, which includes white sage, palo santo, abalone shell, smudging feather, cocopelli keychain, healing, purifying, meditating, and incense. So let's look at that video real quick, family. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notification. So transform the energy of your home. Eliminate the negative energy. Reduce stress and improve your moods. Okay, so that's that. And here she is burning the sage. This will be a part of your homework if you choose to, family. Everything is totally on you. Your spiritual practice is your spiritual business. Your inner Christ will tell you what you need to do to feel closer in the spirit and the things you must do. Um, these are just suggestions and ideas to build your spiritual life, okay? To build it, to enhance it, right? So these are some of the things that come with it. I just love this burning bowl. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and then there's the feather. And the beauty of it is this, it looks like this, I think this might be a book actually. And it's called Smudging Instructions to Blessings. Okay. And it's the same way when it comes to my new little crystal set. Let me show you. Okay. I just think this is so beautiful, this image right here. Let's see if we can blow it up. 14 premium healing crystals, 7 tumbled and 7 rough, a selenite wand and Palo Santo stick, and a handcrafted silk bag. Okay, this is all about, this is the one I want to show you guys. So this is how crystals are to be used. And I'll show you the lady laying down as she puts the crystals down her body. But this is the crown. I know clear quartz, amethyst, spiritual. So this means I know. And this is clear quartz amethyst for spirituality and wisdom. That's over there around your third eye. But they call something else the third eye here, the purple. So that is the crown. This one here is your third eye. I see. And it's amethyst, lapis lazuli for reflection and intuition. Then here's the throat. I speak. Sodalite is the name of that crystal. Appetite, expression, and truth come through the throat. Here is the aventurine, rose quartz, heart. I love, for love and compassion chakra. Here's your solar plexus. I will is the citrine, calcite, tiger eye, for power and confidence. Then the sacral. I feel, carnal, carnelian, tiger eye, for creativity and pleasure. And here is the base. I am, red jasper, hematite, for stability and security. Let me find my sister girl here. Look at this. And this is how you're supposed to place it on your body. Perfectly balance your chakras. Can y'all see that? Let me make it a little bit bigger. Yeah. So when you put these stones in alignment on the body, this is the way you empower yourself. A tool. It's not the end all be all. You don't have to have these tools, but I was excited to get these tools. I'm excited to take my spiritual practice to the next level and to learn of the tools out there that will get me more centered, more balanced, less angry in 23, less fearful, less anxious, less depressed. I'm happy for the tools. So I just want to share those things with you, family. So you too. Hi, BB. Thank you for joining the live, my love. Let me get my candles back up and turn up my I prayerfully think this is public domain jazz that I'm playing in the background. Okay? That's my hope and my prayer. Um I looked up public domain. Oh, another great tool is the 13 moon calendar. Thank you, Kinky Curly Straight. I'll invest in that. Hold on one second. Let me share the candles. These are tools and these are simply suggestions, family, on how to live your best life right now. Heaven is not something you have to die to, family. Heaven is something you create. Kinky Curly Straight said it speaks about the chakras. Thank you. I will be sure to invest in that. Thank you. So, heaven and hell are not destinations. Heaven and hell are lived experiences. And what you choose will either wreak heaven in your life or it will wreak hell in your life. So, right now, I'm over here teaching you how to create heaven in your experience. Yes, please, Kinky Curly Straight. Please put the link or the email. You can put the link. You can put in the link. Yes, please put it in the chat, fam. Absolutely. For people that come and turn on the comments as they're viewing the archive at a later time. But heaven and hell are in the power of your thoughts. It's in the power of how you feel. It's in the power of what you speak. It's in the power of how you act. It's in the power of how you react. And as the image likeness of God, you are a creative force to be reckoned with. And so you are the thinker that thinks the thoughts that creates the things. Okay? So it's imperative to get in alignment with the truth of who you are. And that needs to be your square. And you can't allow anyone or anything to disrupt the calm peace of your soul. But you've got to get to know who you are as soul, who you are as spirit. We don't spend enough time on that. And that's why we have so much hell in our manifest. That's how we have manifested so much hell because we don't invest in programs like this to know how to be at peace so you can create heaven. Okay? So, with that being said, I don't want to belabor because this is a long chapter. And like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing because there's quite a few homework items that I highly recommend you choose to do. And I really want to get to that. So, I'm going to jump to this segment so that we can get on with the homework. And as usual, as Spirit leads me, I will weigh in. Spirituality. Spiritually, your wanting to lose weight is not a desire to become less of yourself, but rather a desire to become more of your true self. And you remember who you truly are when you remember who created you. By reestablishing your right relationship to your source, you reestablish your right relationship to yourself in mind and in body. You are a being both created by love and at home in love. Your deepest desire is not for food, but for the experience of home. Your deepest desire is not for food, but for love. Love is both the creator of the universe and the order of the universe. We vastly underestimate the seismic rupture caused by the slightest deviation from love. Every moment of unconscious eating is a moment when you are starving from a lack of healthy self love and struggling to find it elsewhere. Just lost my place. Struggling to find it elsewhere. Just as a child in the womb receives its nourishment directly from its mother, so we are to receive our true nourishment directly from the divine. In reestablishing your relationship with your divine source, you will once again receive divine nourishment. Me speaking. That's what I'm intending with this lesson, okay? Is to spiritualize the demand for reparations. I'm even going to use some different words. Freeman Holocaust survivor Us says, I would suggest to anyone buying any spiritual items, please cleanse them before using. Cleanse them by praying over them first. You can even charge them with the moon. Thank you, Freeman Holocaust survivor. Hi, Herb Saint. I see you, family. Welcome to the live. So back to the text. I was just sharing how, let me go back to this last sentence. Just as a child in the womb receives its nourishment directly from its mother, so we are to receive our true nourishment directly from the divine. And that's what I'm seeking to do from this point forward in the demand for reparations movement. Okay? I'm not going to be participating in all this upset and getting my pressure up. We will be spiritualizing that entire process from henceforth. You can join me over there tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. In reestablishing your relationship with your divine source, you will once again receive divine nourishment. As your connection to love is repaired, you'll be freed from your compulsion to seek love from a source that only dishes out self hate. That's not just food, that's sex addiction, that's shopping addiction, that's alcohol and drug addiction. As you connect to love and repair that connection, you will be freed from your compulsion to seek love from sources that only dish out self hate. You were taught to be self reliant. And of course, that is a good thing. But Your dependence on God is not the abdication of responsibility, it is the ultimate taking of responsibility. It doesn't make you less powerful to acknowledge a higher power, it makes you more powerful because it gives you access to the power of faith. Faith is an aspect of consciousness. There is no such thing as a faithless person. Let me speak on that for a second. The people that believe that they're being faithless don't understand their power as the image likeness of God. They don't understand their power to create. So they can claim that they're faithless, but no. Whatever it is that is manifested in that experience, whatever has manifested in your experience is what you have faith in. If depression, anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, ailments, food, alcohol, drugs, smoking, sex, poverty, all of this is consciousness. All of these things is what you have faith in. All of these things is what you believe in. You can't be made in the image likeness of God with mastery, power, dominion, and an authority over everything except what's showing up. And that's hard for people to understand. That's very, very difficult for people to understand that the things that are made manifest are the things that you've believed in, the things you've had faith in. Yes, I know that there are other outside entities that have done horrific things. But how do you explain how 10% of us are thriving? Well, more than 10%, 20% of us are thriving, and the other 80% are struggling. If in some way, shape, or form there wasn't an agreement. And so the way you test that out is to come up with a new set of agreements. Come up with some agreements where you're bestowing your faith in the things you actually want to be made manifest in your experience. Your best body, your best finances, the best job, the best career, the best entrepreneurial endeavor, and work and partner with your inner Christ to manifest that now. Because I don't know when the reparations is coming. Are we supposed to lose everything we've been blessed with until reparations directly deposits to our accounts? No. I say we take control of our financial future right now. And the best and only partner that can help you attain that and achieve that is when you partner with your inner Christ. So back to the text. Right now, you have plenty of faith. Faith that you'll eat too much, no matter what you do. Faith that you'll never lose the weight and really keep it off. Faith that overeating is your only true friend, even though you know it's anything but your friend. The real question is, do you have more faith in the power of your problem or in the power of a miracle to solve it? Let's try tweaking your faith a bit here. Believe, even if only for just a moment, that God will work a miracle in your life. Try having faith in that. He will take away your inappropriate and excessive desires. He will remove your false appetites and return your body to its natural wisdom. He will restore your life to purpose and joy. And if you can't do that, if you can't summon up the faith, then, if only for a moment, lean on mine. The problem is not that we're not believers. Most of us are. The problem is that we too often keep our belief or even our faith separate from the rest of our lives. Back to my earlier point, we're keeping our faith separate from the reparations movement. I bear witness to it daily as I see the Twitter wars, the Facebook wars, and the YouTube wars. And I'm choosing not to participate like that anymore. I'm choosing to spiritualize the fight for these reasons. Because I don't want that fight to defeat my goal of surrendering my weight forever. I don't want that fight defeating my finances. I don't want that fight defeating my entrepreneurial endeavors. I don't want that fight to defeat my career. I don't want that fight to defeat my relationships. I'm going to be moving differently in 23, and I'm glad you decided to join me. As though spirituality is some separate corner of life, distinct from our bodies or relationships or work lives or any other practical concerns. God has enough to think about, people often say, as though we shouldn't bother him with our petty problems. Now, I refer to him just in jest because that's how we know him. God is not a he, she, or it. God is Mother, Father, Spirit, Divine. God is energy, that very energy that animates your body and makes your heart beat. And everything you see made manifest was an idea in God's mind before it expressed in the outer. So just keep, a perspective. And I'll also toggle back and forth between referring to my ladies in the live and my gentlemen in the live. I alter the language to make sure I'm touching everyone because it's not just us women who have a resolution to lose weight and to be in our best body. Not so much for vanity, but for optimal health. When your health is not optimal, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You're not even healthy enough to bless yourself and others with it. And so we, as American freedmen specifically, have got to do better in these matters of our relationship to great optimal health. And this is the way we're kicking off our first 21 days to steep ourselves in a foundation of a spiritual practice that will help us to accomplish the goal for good and stop the yo yo in our experience. But there is no spot in the universe that isn't filled, infused, permeated, and lifted up by the divine. Your creator can't be left out, except in your thinking. And wherever he is left out in your thinking, he can't help you. Let God help you lose weight, and he will. At about this point, your fear mind might be starting to disparage these lessons. In your overeating, fear has found in you a perversely comfortable home, and it will not move out of its lair so easily. With every step forward, it will try to lure you back. This is nonsense. This can't work. God has nothing to do with my weight. Such are the kinds of ammunition it will use to make sure that no matter what else you do, you will not give this course a chance. What's up, Babe Brax? I see you, fam. Thanks for joining the line. For something in your thinking has begun to expand, and the spirit of fear will have none of that. Whoa, slow down, fear will say. Or, this is a waste of time. Or, the pseudo intellectual one, faith isn't rational. Well, neither is a loving embrace, but no one would doubt its power. Fear is a psychic tyrant that has no intention of letting its slaves go free. It will say whatever it needs to say to confuse your thinking and pervert your appetites. It will always seek to preserve itself, and it doesn't mind your being spiritual or religious as long as you don't actually apply it to your life too much. It doesn't mind your going to church as long as you are fat and going to church. You are to do what it says, how and when it says to do it. And nothing, not your best intentions, your willpower, or your self discipline, has the power to overrule its authority. Only God does. Let us increase your faith in that. The work of this lesson is to build an altar to the divine. You will build a spiritual altar in your heart and a physical altar in your home. Fear already has an altar. It's called your kitchen. It has cabinets and a refrigerator, drawers of packaged goods, forks and knives and spoons. It has all those things, plus counters, a sink, and more. It is the headquarters for many of your fears. Let us now establish another headquarters, a headquarter for love. With this lesson, your assignment is to, number one, create a place in your home that will remind you that love, not fear, is the true power in your life. Every time you visit your altar, it will fortify love's power in your mind. And the more love fills your mind, the more miracles will fill your life. Look around you and consider what area of your home might best be used for your altar. Your altar should both celebrate and support the power of divine love. Seated next to it should be a chair for reading, inspirational material, praying, and meditating. The altar should include a surface on which to place beautiful or meaningful objects that remind you of spirit. You can, if you have this book, you can put that on the altar. Pictures, holy books, statues, fresh flowers, prayer beads, sacred objects. All are examples of appropriate items to be placed upon your altar. As you grow through this course, indeed, as you move through the journey of your entire life, it would be good to make your altar a continuous expression of your devotion to God. This dedicated space reminds you to bow down to love and love only. And every time you write in your journal, you should return it to your altar. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might is the first commandment. And why? Because it is the key to right living. We should focus on divine. We should focus on divine will, because if we don't, then our focus will be given over to something else. That something else is neuroses, pathology, compulsion, and fear. In our separation from the thoughts of love, blind to the true source of our good, we look for love in all the wrong places. That is idolatry. Eating and drugging and drinking and smoking has become a false idol for you. On any given day when you feel triggered, when you are deeply drawn to the ritualistic dance of self hatred in the form of overeating, over shopping, over sexing, over indulging in drugs and cigarettes and alcohol, My apologies, I lost my place. That's what self hatred is. You will have more power to resist it on that day. You have already experienced the power of your altar. If you have already prayed and given thanks to God. So, you guys remember, I'm going to constantly remind you of my sister friend and parishioner who broke her addiction to smoking. As she smoked, she thanked God for removing her desire to smoke. And within weeks, she smoked no more. Quick cold turkey. And it wasn't really um, cold in that she had to experience withdrawal or anything of this nature. It was because she was practicing spiritually as she was breaking her cycle of addiction to smoking cigarettes. This is applicable in everything you want to do. When you invoke the Spirit of God, as you are challenged with letting certain things go, it will be done. You will look up one day and not desire it anymore. I remember going through a very, very stressful time, a very stressful child support custody battle, and I grew an addiction to those Starlight peppermint candies. I would chew those nervously by the bagful, okay? And I was just so hooked that I literally had to invoke the Spirit of the living God to quit cold turkey. And once, as I was breaking the cycle of addiction to those mints, eventually one day I woke up and didn't desire a bag of them. And another thing that God was doing, I believe, was changing the recipe. For example, I'd be hooked on the Walmart brand Starlight Mints. And then they would change the recipe. And I could taste the change. That's how much I ate them. I could taste the difference. Then I got hooked on the Walgreens peppermint. You know, the little round hard candy stripe mints. And then they changed. Or perhaps neither changed. The change happened in me. That just came to me in the retelling of it. Perhaps that was my prayer to God to stop my desire for eating these mints in excess the way I was doing. And ultimately, when I put that habit down, I prevailed while representing myself in family law when my area of expertise is workers' comp law. That is what is available to you, family, to us, when we invoke the power of that living God that rested within you on the seventh day and named you the best of all its creation. For having already bowed before the power of the divine, you will be far less tempted to bow before the power of your compulsion to overeat. Having begun to build your altar to love, let's begin to tear down your altar to fear. This is homework assignment number 2. Now, you can play this back if you can't keep up in your notes, okay? Or you can simply invest in the book on Amazon, and then you can keep your notes and highlight your book the way I've marked mine up. So, homework number 2, walk into your kitchen and pray that it be home to love and love only. So, this is the prayer. Dear God, I dedicate this room to you. May only love prevail here. May fear have power no more in my heart, in my body, or in my house. And so it is. And amen. Thank you for answered prayer. Let me start that over. Also, there is a Native American tradition called smudging. I just showed you guys my beginner smudging kit that I can't wait to get from Amazon. You might find it useful. It involves gathering some sage and burning it over a bowl, in this case, in your kitchen. Along with prayer, this herbal ritual will help clear out your dysfunctional appetites. The two will purify the room of compulsive energies still hanging in the air, the psychic leftovers of one who used to bow like a slave before the altar to fear. That person is no longer who you are. Even though the ghost of your former self might appear to taunt you, do not let this scare you. Like I mentioned, pray your way through it if you have minor setbacks. You have remembered what is holy, and what is not holy can no longer hurt you. I suggest you rid your kitchen of all trigger foods, for they can still harm you as long as you do not have the will to resist their temptation. If the thought occurs to you that you are throwing away good food that costs real money, remind yourself that too much unhealthy food could in fact cost you your life. Fill your kitchen instead with colorful, nutritious foods. Enlist family and friends to help you in this process if you need their support. Get rid of all that is unhealthy and make your kitchen a sacred place. Now, moving back to your altar to the power of love. Allow yourself, while sitting before it, to imbibe the energies of spirit. Books, music, letter writing, pictures, anything that helps build the thought forms and feelings of a more beautiful life. Even books about food are fine, as long as they are about wise and healthy eating. That would go back to Tabitha Brown. She's got a beautiful vegan book full of great recipes in there. And there's another gentleman that I'll share with you about who also has a great cookbook of healthy eating. I'll share about that with you before I pray us out. But I've got a couple more pages of text to get through, so I won't break from it now to get it for you. Okay. Um, you might take the opportunity to expand your reading to a powerful set of principles, the 12 Steps of Overeating Anonymous. Whether you are an addict or a compulsive eater who, while not addicted to a specific food, is still unable to control your desire to eat excessively, the principles of Overeaters Anonymous carry a universal wisdom that has saved the lives of millions. Another book I'd like to recommend to you is It's Not What You're Eating, It's What's Eating You. Put that on your book list too. The steps are universal adages that speak to anyone dealing with an addiction, and the first three encapsulate the meaning of spiritual surrender. That as an addict, you must admit that you are powerless before your problem, that only God is powerful enough to restore you to sanity, and that as an addict, of which family you can be addicted to being angry, to being enraged. Did you know that's an addiction too? You can be hooked on that until you break the cycle. That just came to me. Spirit gave me that. That as an addict, you must admit that you are powerless before your problem, that only God is powerful enough to restore you to sanity, and that as an addict, you must turn your will and life over to the care of God as you understand Him. Addiction represents the place where one's sanity is overruled. No matter what you do, no matter how much you diet or exercise, As long as there is that place in your brain where your sanity flips over like a breaker switch, then even your best efforts will seem for naught. This then makes your life unmanageable. It is as though there is a place where you are always rendered powerless, no matter how powerful you might be in other ways. Only you can say if you're an addict. Addiction is more than compulsion. It demands abstinence from particular items, at least temporarily, whether they be made of sugar, white flour, or refined carbohydrates, or specific binge foods. Coming to terms with the idea that you are an addict is a huge thing and should be treated with proper respect. Respect for your grief over the pain you have already caused yourself. Respect for the disappointment you feel at knowing you must abstain from certain substances in order to be free. Respect for the pain you are in now as you allow yourself to open to many thoughts and feelings only now beginning to surface. Yeah, the thoughts and feelings that are beginning to surface is because you're not um, forging them out by the addiction. Once you stop whatever you're addicted to, you get those feelings and those thoughts are going to surface heavy on you. And that's why it's imperative to have a spiritual practice so that you can deny the thoughts and feelings. You're not denying the thoughts and feelings, you're denying the power that those thoughts and feelings have over your inner Christ ability to heal you of the addiction. So you'll deny the power it has over you and you will affirm in its place the truth that you are spirit, perfect, whole, harmonious, and complete, and that nothing can hurt you or make you sick, broke, or afraid. For spirit is God, and God is never sick, nor broke, nor hurt, nor afraid. It is our goal to manifest our real selves through these bodies right now. This is not a journey you should take alone. Now, Satra Del Rey 360 asks about support groups. You're free to form those as intimated here too. But some things are an on one, in one, as one kind of journey. But you're free to do it the way your inner Christ leads you to do it. I do my exercise and meal plan daily, and I've been consistent since practicing with you guys. Today, I didn't go for my walk. It was raining torrential rains, and I chose to exercise by getting my house in order, cleaning up. I took the time earlier today to be in movement. So, but daily I'm practicing mindfulness, and I highly recommend you do that as well. So it says, perhaps you have a group of like minded friends who, in suffering what you have suffered, can share the pain and power of this journey with you. A solitary path will only give more power to fear, while walking this path with others will give it the power and blessing of love, which is what this course and bringing it to you guys in this space is doing for me. So I guess in that respect, she's right. I'm not going it alone. Each and every one of you showing up is my accountability partner. Thank you. If you feel drawn to this course and want to dive into it more deeply, perhaps you have friends who wish to practice the lessons with you. Connecting deeply to other people is a connection to the divine. So don't become hermits, family. During this time, get out there, dance, go to concerts, go to the movies. Don't use this time to become a recluse, a hermit. You will be amazed at how it shifts the atmosphere and whatever ails you. One of the things you can do when you're feeling blue is to go and make someone else happy. Go and do something for a friend. It is the best feeling in the world, and it lifts you right up out of whatever has you distracted and in the doldrums. Only the only the divine is more powerful than fear, rendering powerless that which has rendered you powerless. Only divine mind can restore you to your right mind. Every thought that you yourself can manage your addiction or get on top of it or make it go away is a thought that will only lead you in time straight back into your addictive behavior. That is why the message here is not don't think so much about food. The message is think more about God. Through a powerful shift in your relationship to your inner Christ, your relationship with food will begin to shift as well. I'm a witness. But turning your life over to the divine is more than a kind of, sort of, sometime thing. It is a full throttle willingness to let go of everything, every thought, every pattern, and every desire that blocks love from entering you and extending through you. It is not enough to just transform some of your thoughts or even your body. You'll get free and remain free only if you are willing to transform your life. You will now begin to see how problematic situations that have little or nothing to do with food have everything to do with food if they represent your blocks to love. It's a subtle but very powerful shift from I turn this situation or that into the hands of God to, as they say in AA, I turn my life and will over to the care of God. Unless your entire life is turned over and not just your excessive eating, then your compulsion will always find fertile soil in which to grow back. And this is why, family, we experience a yo yo in our weight loss and weight gain because we've not spiritualized surrendering our weight forever. Fear is like a thief within. I'm on the last page and a half, family. Lean in. Fear is like a thief with endless patience, casually circling your house in the belief that you will ultimately be careless enough to leave one of the doors unlocked. It will simply hide and wait. It's okay. So what have you been eating? So what if you've been eating and exercising so well for the last month? I'll just wait till you get stressed over that situation at work, over the reparations movement, and I'll put some sugar in front of you while you're going through it. It is just that sly and that insidious and that vicious, family. Your job is to post enough angels around your house that the thief cannot get in. So now we're on the backstretch with reflection and prayer before I close this out. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to see your body infused with light. Every cell is filled with the golden elixir poured forth from divine mind. Angels are gathered around you as you allow yourself to release yourself fully into the field of the divine. Hold this image as I close out the broadcast. Breathe out your burdens and breathe in love's miraculous power. See the light pouring into your body. Continue to do this visualization using it when any problem occurs to you. The point is not to just release your weight to God, but to surrender everything to Him. Your finances, your love life, your job, your career, your businesses, your health. For a minimum of 5 minutes a day, allow Divine Mind to have full and total access to your physical self. The imagery that emerges from this experience is the beginning of a process by which fear's hold on your body imagery will be fundamentally and ultimately permanently dismantled. When you walk to the kitchen, see God walking with you. When you take a bite, surrender it to Him. Even if you overeat, surrender the experience to Spirit as you do so. Dear God, I surrender this experience to you. Do not fight yourself. Simply cleave to God and then stand back and watch the glory of the Lord, the glory of universal law, be made manifest in your life, world, and affairs. God is not your judge, family. God is your healer. It's not as though He's been unaware of your patterns or of your suffering. He has simply been waiting for this day when you would invite Him to enter and to do what only He can do. And I'm going to rephrase that because He has simply been waiting for this day when you would awaken Him within you to do what only He can in you, through you, as you. There's no waiting for an invitation. You are His image likeness. And you've got mastery, power, dominion, and authority over everything, no exceptions. Now, if you don't feel that way, then it's up to you to change how you feel about it by studying and doing the homework until what you believe about that, you become one with the truth. Dear God, my eyes have been opened to the nature of my dis-ease. Dis-ease. I am powerless before food or whatever ails you. And I realize that now. I surrender to you both my pain and my compulsion. I thank you for doing for me what I cannot do for myself. I thank you for overpowering my false appetites and for casting out my fear. I thank you for your love, which I know has richly blessed me. I thank you for your blessings, which I know will heal me. And may my healing, dear God, be of use to others in whatever way you direct. And so it is, family, and amen. That is our lesson for today. Tomorrow we will pick up with lesson 4, Invoke the Real You. We are moving right along. I want to remind you to do your homework, especially the brick exercise. I am still working through my bricks, but do know until you bring those bricks up and face them head on, they were constantly expressed in the body as added weight and ailments. So don't be afraid because the Christ in you, the Buddha in you, the Allah in you has far more power over your bricks than the bricks do your inner Christ. Okay? So allow yourself to bring it up by the root. I am definitely going to be finishing that exercise. I will be burning and releasing it. Okay? As I recommend, these are only suggestions. I am not the boss of you. You are the boss of you. but I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And I hope that some of you will join me in these new, well, not so new for me, my return to my metaphysical roots is what this is for me. I have departed from it since taking up this fight for reparations. And I'm even changing the fight to demand for reparations because fight feels like war. And I don't want to study war anymore. It is just, it makes us sick when we study war. We have got to get back to our true nature. The nature in which we were birthed in is love. I'm not talking about your physical parents. I'm talking about your spiritual one, that mother, father, spirit divine that rested in you on the seventh day and named you the best of all creation. Your physical parents are only there to give you experiences for you to evolve and to learn more about the truth of who you really are. As the face of God, the voice of God, the body temple of the spirit of the living God. I do hope you are falling asleep. I love, love, love Jason Stevenson. I think Friedman Holocaust Survivor Us recommended David McGraw. There are so many beautiful, serene, and affirming videos that you can play while you rest at night. This can be playing in your subconscious to improve your finances, to improve your health, to improve your wealth, to help you in your weight loss. Powerful, family. I hope you are finding something on YouTube or wherever you play your positivity from. YouTube, I love YouTube about as much as I love Amazon. That's where I find everything. I call it YouTube University. So I hope you're doing that as well. And I hope that if you haven't already consulted with your inner Christ about your life plan for food and exercise, that you have in fact started incorporating that and will continue to lean in until your inner Christ gives it to you. Okay? This is not a one size fits all. Your inner Christ will clearly tell you to give up sugar, to give up certain carbs, simple carbs or complex, I can't recall. Um, because I'm not really here to deal with the pounds you use. I'm here to deal with the pounds you lose in the spirit. How much weight is going to fall off of you, because I know that when you get in accordance with the one that is you, that the weight is going to fall off no matter what you eat, truthfully, because it's not the food. Mind is cause, body is effect. And with that being said, family, let me do my famous favorite denial and affirmation from A Lessons in Truth by H. Emily Cady. This is affirmation denial number 3. That pain, sickness, poverty, old age, nor death cannot master me, for it is not real. And I affirm that I am spirit, perfect, whole, harmonious, complete. Nothing can hurt me or make me sick, broke, or afraid, for spirit is God, and God is never sick, never broke, never hurt, nor afraid. I manifest my real self through this body temple right now. And so it is, and amen. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, because family, You are the face of God. Yes, you are the voice of God. You are the body temple of the Spirit of the living God. If no one's told you today how much they love you, know that I love you black and Freedman strong. Yes, I do. And until we meet again tomorrow, twice tomorrow, 1 o'clock on my advocacy channel and 6 o'clock here, I want you to make it a beautiful, God inspired rest of your evening. And I'm believing for each and every one of us a ton of love, light, peace, and blessings, family, until we meet again.